are going to present our group project of scientific inquiry, which has the title of Assessing River Pollution in the Industrial Area, which is based on the SDG number 6. We are from Group 7. So our group member is Wong Wee Jian, Da Ming Jie, Andy Wee, Bong Yiwen, and Brandon Kong. At first, the river pollution in industrial area has become crucial this day, and this research is very important to expose the damage of the human activities that causes river pollution, thus helping to increase the awareness among people. The first research question is, in between rural and industrial area, which river are more polluted? And the second, what are the causes of river pollution in Malaysia and identify the primary causes? The third one is, does the level of awareness among people contribute to reduce the pollution in Malaysia? Next is the objective of study and hypothesis. The first objective is to compare the river condition between industrial and non-industrial area in Malaysia, while the hypothesis is the river in industrial area are more polluted than non-industrial area. The second is to identify the factor of river pollution and the main factor of river pollution in Malaysia. The hypothesis is the main causes of river pollution is due to industrial waste. The third objective is to assess the relationship between the level of awareness among Malaysians and the level of river pollution, while the hypothesis is the greater the awareness among the study community, the lower the level of river pollution. Then is significance of study. A clean river can help in providing clean water in order to meet the goal number 6 in SDG, which is clean water and sanitation. Rivers are important sources of water for living, and clean water give good health to humans. Make sure that we have clean and unpolluted water for better living of nature life, as rivers are considered as habitat for animal and plant species.
Okay, I'm going to discuss about the literature review of our research project. Firstly, based on the graph shown, it can be observed that the number of polluted rivers increases year by year. It is supported by Malaysian Environmental Quality Reports 2016, which stated that only 47% of rivers are clean. The others are either polluted or slightly polluted. According to GOI 2020, the industrial activities contributes the most to the river pollution. As an example, Kim Kin River toxic pollution 19 at the Pasir Gudang. It is a serious problem since the clean water is fundamental to humans during the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, let's take a look of all the factors affecting the river's pollution in Malaysia. Firstly is the industrial waste. Industrial waste is the disposal of large amount of chemicals waste, especially heavy metals like zinc and lead into the rivers. Second one is the agricultural waste. They are usually waste produced from the agricultural activities, commonly are herbicide and insecticide. After that is the residential waste. They are waste disposed by the public. The most identical waste is plastic bag, followed by the domestic farming waste, which consists of excretion product from the animals. Lastly is sewage. Sewage is a domestic wastewater which contains solid and liquid layer collected and disposed into large bodies of water. Environmental problem has been a major concern for Malaysia, especially worsening of the river quality. But the interesting fact is, communities' concern to keep the river and in surrounding areas clean is still low. Throughout our research, the public's perception and awareness towards rivers are the key points to counter the problem, since this influence their participation in water management platform.
Next, let us move to research and design. To investigate the river pollution in Malaysia, every group member will be reviewing related journals and articles. Besides, relevant information is searched online through platforms such as Google Scholars. The information must be published in between year 2015 to 2020. This is to ensure that we obtain the latest and most valid information which can be a strong evidence to our research finding. Next, an online survey is conducted by using Google Form to prove the hypothesis of our research. The target of the survey is the citizens in Malaysia of age 18 or above. The reason for choosing citizens above 18 years old is because they are more mature and have a better understanding of river pollution issues. Thus, they are more eligible to answer our survey question because they have more knowledge about the environmental issues. The size of the sample is set to be at least 50 people who are 18 years old or above. Few questions have been asked in our survey. I'd like to talk about it briefly because it will be further explained in the discussion part. For the first question, we ask the respondent if they live around industrial area and is there a river nearby their living area. Besides, we ask the opinion of the respondent to rate the pollution level of their area. Next, we ask them to rate the severity of industrial waste, residential waste, domestic farming waste, agricultural waste, and sewage waste in their living area. In addition, we also ask them to rate the awareness of people in their living area towards river pollution. Finally, we ask them on their age and the state they are from.
This is the data analysis for our research. For Hypothesis 1, hypothesis testing is carried out for the means of level of river pollution in industrial area and non-industrial area. The survey question on the right has been asked towards the respondent in order to obtain the data for Hypothesis 1. The hypothesis testing has shown that the Z value is greater than the Z critical value and the null hypothesis is rejected. For Hypothesis 2, single regression analysis for each factor is determined, whereas the multiple regression analysis for overall factor has been taken out. And the survey question on the right has been asked towards the respondent in order to obtain the data for Hypothesis 2. The simple regression analysis has shown that all factors have positive coefficients, which indicates the positive relationship between the factors and level of pollution. For F-test, industrial waste, domestic farming waste, and sewage treatment plant waste have fitted linear models, whereas other factors did not show fitted linear models. The R-square value of industrial waste has the highest value of 77.54%, whereas R-square value of other factors is less than 10%. The multiple regression analysis has shown that all factors have positive coefficients, whereas the industrial waste has the highest coefficient. For the F-test, it's shown that the multiple regression model is a linear model, whereas the R-square value of 79.44% has shown the reliability of this regression model. For Hypothesis 3, simple regression analysis is done to determine the relationship between the level of awareness among Malaysians and the level of river pollution. The survey question on the right has been asked towards the respondent in order to obtain data for the Hypothesis 3. For the simple regression analysis in Hypothesis Testing 3, rate of awareness has a negative coefficient, which shows that it has negative relationship towards the level of river pollution. The F-test has shown that the simple regression analysis is a linear model, and the R-square value of 73.53% had ensured the reliability of this regression model.
For the first hypothesis testing, the Z-test is used to identify the difference between the level of pollution of river around industrial area and non-industrial area. According to the results, there is enough evidence to support that industrial area is more polluted than non-industrial area. From the second hypothesis testing, a single regression analysis is carried out to test the reliability between factors and level of river pollution. Results shows that industrial waste, domestic waste, sewage treatment plant waste are factors of river pollution, while residential waste and agricultural waste are not a factor of river pollution. The main factors which contribute to the severity of river pollution is industrial waste, which has the greatest positive coefficient according to multiple regression analysis. In the simple regression analysis for Hypothesis 3, the results suggest that the higher the level of awareness among Malaysians, the lower the level of pollution. A linear model is fitted and therefore a linear relationship exists. However, there are some limitations in this research. One of the limitations is the inequality of respondents from industrial and non-industrial area. This proved to be a problem when determining the main factor of river pollution, where the results in the response from non-industrial area is outweighed by response from industrial area. In conclusion, the three hypotheses that are tested earlier are accepted. The objective to identify the condition of river in industrial and non-industrial area is achieved. The second objective to identify the factors and main factor of river pollution, and the third objective to identify the relationship between awareness level and river pollution level is fulfilled. The result is helpful by exposing the truth of river condition in industrial area, thus allowing more resources to be focused in saving the river in industrial area. This information is beneficial to the government as they will have better idea on where to focus in addressing river pollution. Besides, The identification of factors of pollution and industrial waste as the main factor of river pollution proved that industrial sector should be more responsible to the environment. This research can be a source for further investigation for other researchers to come up with solutions and recommendations to cope with river pollution. Last but not least, the researcher identifies that when public awareness increases, river pollution decreases. This result supports the effort to instill public awareness of caring the environment, which gave many environmental clubs and organizations the confidence to carry out various activities that hope to increase public awareness regarding environmental care.